So I made a big mistake in my preseason betting last week. I had a wrong side loser. Really bad. I played the Washington Commanders plus the points in New England. And my thought process is, there's no business for the Patriots being favored by this much. Why are the Patriots taking all this money? Plus 6.5, plus 7. Washington's live. Washington was not live in that ball game. I lost. My clients lost. Was a bad loser. Let's talk about what to do with the Commanders this week. Monday Night Football against the Cincinnati Bengals. Looking at my Odds Logic Live odds screen, I'm seeing Cincy -3 at most books, total sitting in the 43 range. Let's break it down. Teddy Covers from WagerTalk.com with a big game breakdown for Monday Night Football. And the reason that I feel like I made a mistake, not just that the Commanders got their asses kicked, which they did, literally from the opening kickoff. They gave up an opening kick return touchdown, and boom, the route was on. New England scored 48 points against them in a preseason game. But the bigger issue, what I do after every week in football, I go back, I call it a post-mortem. I go back and look at the bets I made and what did I do right and what did I do wrong, and you learn from that. And I've been in this business, I've been doing it full-time since 1998. I still do that every Sunday night / Monday morning. It really helps. It allows, make sure that you're real to yourself about good decision, bad luck, bad pick. And the thing that I missed was Dan Quinn for Washington last week, because it's as simple as it gets. Dan Quinn doesn't care about preseason. He's the modern day Marv Levy. And Marv Levy, when I moved to Las Vegas, Marv Levy was the preseason legend, the Buffalo Bills former head coach, and a guy who didn't give one flying F about winning or covering a preseason game. And all you did in August was you bet against the Bills. Marv Levy was the Bills head coach. And it cashed year after year after year. So let's talk about Dan Quinn in the preseason. Let's see. Dating back to his tenure in Atlanta. 2017, 0-4 straight up, 0-4 against the spread. 2018 in Atlanta, 0-4 straight up, 0-4 against the spread. 2019 in Atlanta, 1-4 straight up and against the spread. They did win a garbage Week 4 matchup, and sometimes those Week 4 matchups back in the day were as ugly as it gets. There was no preseason in 2020. He was fired by 2021. In Washington last year, 1-2 straight up and against the spread. The one win, again, last game of the preseason, garbage rosters for both squads, and that's the game that Quinn won. So, and of course, this year they're 0-1. In addition, when we look at Washington, okay, so that's as ugly a track record as it gets. We're talking about 2 wins in the last 5 preseasons for Dan Quinn coach teams. That's bet against, all right? Then we look at, how are they losing? Is it the defense getting lit? Because in my mind, when the offense scores in August, that's meaningful. Well, the last 17 preseason games for Dan Quinn's teams, the offense has scored 14 or less 12 times. Okay? 20 or less 15 of those 17 preseason games. So this is a coach who's not showing anything in August, who doesn't care about winning and losing in August. And when you find coaches like that, they're one-way handicaps. And I missed this last week, and it cost me and my clients a bet. I ain't missing it this week. All right? Washington is bet against in August until proven otherwise in the Dan Quinn era. Plain and simple. And it's not like you have to lay a huge price with Cincy. Again, the Odds Logic Live odds screen, -3 right now. Total sitting 43.5, which looks a little rich, to be perfectly honest, when we talk about what Washington is doing offensively. Yeah, when we talk about Washington's QB rotation, we're going to see a lot of Jalen Daniels this week. I would not expect so. We're going to see a lot of Marcus Mariota this week. I would not expect so. So, Josh Johnson, Sam Hartman, that's not a QB duo that's likely to light up the scoreboard. It certainly didn't last week in New England. They did get to 18 in that ball game. As for Cincinnati, look, starting offense looked great last week. In the first quarter against Philadelphia, Joe Burrow came in and led a couple of touchdown drives. We expect, perhaps, see more of that again this week. And Burrow's quotes, we got to be better. Too many procedural penalties, too many errors. things like that are going to happen, but I thought it wasn't clean enough across the board. You know, last year, what did they lose? 7 times by less than a touchdown or less. And, you know, you hear Zach Taylor, head coach, the quotes coming out of his mouth talking about we can't have that sloppiness. Quote, those are all the things that as a team we can't tolerate. We've got to play better football than that. So we've got urgency, at least some urgency, for Cincinnati. And we have a Washington team that just doesn't seem to give a crap about winning in August. One-way handicap. If I'm playing, I'm laying Bengals or pass for this better. Thank you so much for watching Wager Talk TV. Stay tuned right here on the channel for more great free play videos. If you like this type of analysis, give us a thumbs up. That's all I ask. You know, if you watch the video and you like it, hit the like button. Done. Comment below. Tell us what you think. Subscribe to the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Check out my homepage, wt.buzz/TC. But give us a like. Appreciate it very much. Best of luck with all your bets in week 2 of the preseason and beyond. Cheers.